Hey, it's Jason Creel. You know, it seems like every year there's one day in my lawn care business that I wish I could just do over again or wouldn't have gotten out of bed, or however you want to say it. But yesterday seemed to be that day, hopefully, for this year. So I had a full day of mowing lined up, and I get to the first property. It's a commercial property that I like to do early in the morning. And when I get there, I knew I had a front tire that was had picked up a nail, was leaking air. I tried to put Fix-A-Flat in it, you know, and I thought, well, so I aired it up that morning. I thought it'd be fine, you know, and I'll get some new tires another day. Well, I get to the first property, it's not holding air, and of course, what does that mean? It's not cutting level. So what I did was I took air out of the other tire. These are the small front tires on a zero-turn mower. So I dropped the other tire down until they were both basically flat, and was able to, you know, get through the property. But I knew this wasn't going to work for the rest of the day because they were basically falling off the rim. So I take it to the tire, call around trying to find a tire shop that can get me some tires that day, you know, because I need the mower. And find one. He says, yeah, I can get it by lunchtime. I said, okay, that's fine. I've got 2 or 3 properties I can go just use a push mower on and get by with. So go drop the mower off and go take care of a few yards to push mower with. Well, I come back and it's just taking longer than I thought. So I don't get my mower back till about 1 o'clock. So by that point, I know I'm not going to finish for the day, which is, you know, not the end of the world, but a little disappointing. So I said, well, let me get a few more properties done, and that'll just leave 3 more I can knock out tomorrow morning, and I can get back to doing some weed control. So I'm on the last yard day. There's storms coming in. It's about 4 o'clock. I think, well, I can finish this one. You know, that'll be all of them on this side of town. I'll just have these last 3 left. Well, I get to the last property, and it's a property that has a big hill. And my drive belt breaks, or pump belt, however you want to say it, the one that controls the hydraulic pumps, basically means your mower won't go. I mean, the blades will still come on, but it won't go. Well, that's the second time that's happened this year, and this is my own mistake. But the first time it happened, I was not prepared. I didn't have an extra one in stock, so I ended up having to go to the auto parts store, buy auto parts, which typically don't hold up as well, put that on, which they can be somewhat of a pain to put on because you have to take the deck belt off to put the hydro belt on. And so I put another auto one on the first time. Well, you know, it lasted about 2 or 3 months, and now boom, yesterday it breaks again right before a storm comes. So I call a buddy of mine who also has a lawn care business who I'd just seen at the previous yard. I said, hey, are you still in the area? My mower, I broke a belt. Can you come help me? Because I'm at the bottom of a big hill. There's no way I'm pushing this mower up this hill by myself. And it's just not in a position I could get my truck to it. I mean, it's just, I needed some help. Well, it's, like I said, it's maybe 4 o'clock. He says, yeah, I'll turn around, I'll head your way. So he comes, and very thankful he helped me finish the yard. He was able to use his mower. He helped me, you know, do the trimming, blow it off, get the yard done. About that time, it starts raining, you know, so he gets a tow strap and hooks up to his mower. And we begin to pull. Well, with the rain and a wet hill, it's not going to work. It's not going to pull up that hill. So I go, you know, it's pouring down rain. I go talk to the homeowner who's there. I say, hey, listen, I broke a belt. My mower's in the backyard. We can't get it with the other mower. Would you mind? My buddy has a 4-wheel drive truck. He had his trailer, lawn trailer there. I said, would you mind if we just back the trailer up into the yard, because at this point my mower's at the bottom of the hill. He said, yeah, that's fine, go ahead, take care. So anyway, hook up tow rope, get it home, get the mower up the hill, get it, you know, up on my trailer through the rain. I go by and I'm thinking, well, I need my mower tomorrow. I went ahead and ordered a OEM belt online while I was waiting on him. But I think I need a belt just to get me through the week, you know. So I go to another auto parts store, buy a belt, come home, and this is where, you know, I would say the worst part of the day. I'm trying to get the belts put on, you know, now so that I can use the mower the next day. So it's about eat dinner, put the kids to bed. It's about 8 o'clock. I'm trying to get the belts on. So I take the dry belt off, go to put the pump belt on. And I don't know how many of you put belts on yourself. The drive belt, at least on my mower, or the deck belt, is not that difficult. It's bigger and easier to access. This pump belt that I'm trying to put on is more difficult. It's a small belt, and so I've got the back of the mower jacked up. I get the belt wrapped around the right, pulleys, and then I'm trying to, I had to unhook this spring, so I'm trying to pull the spring, which actually puts the tension on the belt. So I put some rope around the spring. I've got one end of the spring hooked up, trying to pull the other end of the spring, and I am pulling on it. Well, you pull the string, but I mean, I'm not sure Incredible Hulk can pull it hard enough. I'm pulling as hard as I can, and it's still about an inch short from the, where it needs to hook to. So I pull it, and I'm holding it with one hand, and I'm crawling underneath, and I have a screwdriver in my other hand. I'm trying to push the spring to just another, maybe half inch to get on this hook. Well, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this isn't a good idea. I need some help, because I'm pushing with a screwdriver on this end of this spring, and I'm holding this rope, but I'm pushing kind of back toward myself. I'm thinking, if that screwdriver slips, that's going to be dangerous. A slick screwdriver on a slick spring. So I called my wife. She's upstairs. I said, hey, can you come help me? Can you hold the string? I thought, I can hold the string, and once you get it wrapped around in place, it'll hold without that much strength. So I thought, well, she can hold that, and I'll crawl in there. And so anyway, that's what it is. So she's holding the string, I crawl in there, and I'm still, trying to help and trying to push the spring, and sure enough, what I'd already feared would happen, and it's one of the dumbest things I've done. But the screwdriver slips, and sure enough, smoked me right in the eye. And I'm sitting there pushing on it as hard as I can, trying to push the spring to get it on the clip. And sure, so I got a lot of force behind it. It slips off and screwdriver right through the eyebrow. Maybe you can catch a glimpse of it. Nothing too terrible. I mean, sure, there was blood and stuff, but I'm thinking, and you can see the discoloration around my eye, but I thought, one, I was frustrated because I didn't get it on there. Two, I was frustrated because how dumb that was. I almost poked my eye out, and that was really not the smartest thing I've done. And anyway, I was bleeding. My wife says, hey, listen, we're not doing this. She said, call somebody else. So I called another buddy in the lawn business. I said, hey, can you come over here tomorrow morning and help me get it? I said, I almost poked my eye out with a screwdriver today. He said, sure. So anyway, he came over, no problem. We were able to get it on there. Nobody lost an eye, but I think it just reminded me of I think there's so many lessons to be learned from these kind of things. And I might go into these more later, but one, I think, is just being careful with the equipment. I think what happens is you get so comfortable with the equipment. I mean, just before, I told you that customer's yard has a steep hill. I'm used to riding on my mower. My mower is fine. I get on my buddy's mower who helped me finish the yard, and he said, you ride the mower, okay. So I go up this hill, and it sure enough come off the ground on the front wheels. About to scare me to death. So I think things like that, I've just gotten very comfortable in the equipment. And when you get comfortable, sometimes when you end up getting hurt, it reminds me of the time when I was in a hurry, just like I was yesterday, and it was raining. I had a walker mower. The chute got clogged up from the wet grass of my walker mower, and the fan on this particular walker kept spinning after you shut the blades off. It had a malfunction to it. So anyway, it's clogged up. I jump off the mower, shut the blades off, reach my hand in down there with the fan still going, not thinking, in a hurry, exploded my finger and had to go to the emergency room, that sort of thing. So you do stuff that's not smart when you get in a hurry and you're not thinking. At least I do. So that's one. A lot of lessons to be learned, I think. One, hey, it helps having buddies in the lawn business. I had one friend come help me finish the yard, help me get my mower unstuck. I had another friend, both in the lawn business, come over and help me get the belt on the next day. Another thing to learn is, and I've seen this in bigger shops, is just being prepared. You know, I made a mistake by not having an extra belt already ordered in my truck, you know, to have on hand for that kind of situation. You know, I should have extra belts, extra blades, all these common maintenance things you need to have in stock so that you don't get stuck in a bind and having to go to the auto parts store and buy a cheap belt just to get you through. So, you know, not being prepared is something I can take away from it. And then, you know, and then two, I think, or three, is just understanding, hey, you're going to have days where things don't go right. It doesn't mean it's a bad business or it's not worth being in the lawn care business, but I wanted to, almost forgot one of the other things that made it the worst day for me in the lawn care business. So one of the yards, like I told you, when my mower broke, I was getting, you know, when I was putting tires on the mower, I went to push mow a couple yards. So I'm at one of these little tiny yards, push mow, and a lady pulls up in a driveway of one of the customers, and she's there to provide some other computer service or something for my customer. And so you know, I didn't think anything of it. I finished the yard. They're tiny little yards, and I blow the driveway off, leave, and well, anyway, I got a call today, and she says, hey, when I left that property, you know, she's not my customer. She was there to work on the computer. So she calls me and said, hey, I was there yesterday while you were cutting the grass, and about 20 minutes after I left the property, I went and she had a camper shell on the back of her truck. She said, I went and I closed my door, and sure enough, the window shattered out of my camper shell. And I think that you probably hit it with a rock with your string trimmer. And of course, that's all. You know, I got that call this morning. I always love those. And I said, well, I truly am sorry that happened. You know, I hate that happened for you. I said, honestly, I don't think that was something I did. I said, I'm not saying I've never shattered windows before. I've shattered my own window. I've shattered glass doors. I've paid for those things. I've paid to have a car door painted that we were accused of scratching. I've replaced, you know, several windows, you know, when there is reasonable expectation that it was me that did it. But the fact that it was 20 minutes later you shut your door and a window breaks, I'm just not willing to take responsibility for that. And to her credit, she was respectful and fairly understanding. I mean, obviously she wanted me to pay for the window, but you know, it's not so easy as just claiming it on insurance, because then your insurance goes up. You pay for it out of pocket. It's several $100s. I mean, you know, and if I did it, or at least thought there was a good chance that it was me, sometimes you can't be for sure, then, you know, like I said, in the past, I've paid for those things, but I'm not necessarily going to volunteer to pay for something that I think was highly unlikely that I did, you know. And it was a very well groomed yard. Not a yard that has a bunch of rocks in it, and I'm particularly careful, especially when there's cars around. So you know, I don't know, it's a tough situation, but she did tell me that she understood and that she wasn't going to sue me. So I thought, hey, well, that's a good thing. So anyway, that was my day. Today was that was yesterday, so today was better, and hopefully tomorrow will be better than that. But you know, it's part of it. It's part of the business. You move on. I still got my eyes. Thank the Lord for that, because I really could have screwed up and poked my eye out. So talk to you later. Bye.